Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Z2R Standard Tournament 2023. We have a Swiss round 3 matchup between VixRyder and jkoper. Both are 2-0. Commentators will be Mariah and Ellendar, and I will leave it to the two of you.
Yes, hello everyone. As always, an exciting Z2R match tonight, the 2-0 match. VixRyder has been on a roll lately, and jkoper, Randomizer celebrity, formidable opponent here matching up tonight. Ellendar, what do we think about this race here tonight?
I was going to say impressed by VixRyder, but at this point, no one can beat him. He's plowed his way through all of the Upstarts tournament, won his way through the brackets very convincingly. 2-0 so far in Standard. Is jkoper going to be the one to take him down? I think it's going to be a close match for sure.
Yeah, it definitely has a potential to be a close match. I mean, depending on what the seed gives our runners. If there's if there's a lot of trolls or if there's some really tough combat, jkoper might have a good edge here. But if things are pretty simple enough, again, candle start for the Swiss rounds here makes caves nice and easy. So that puts everyone on a very level playing field right from the get-go. And so again, if there's no real trolls, it's going to be just who can find this stuff the fastest and then get done with the seed. I mean, very basic way to play the game. But I mean, if there's not a lot of trolls, then there's no hoops to jump through, and either runner can take this.
Yeah, I was discussing with some people how many of the people already at 2-0 have at least one tournament win. I was going back and looking. jkoper does not have a tournament win in Z2, but he has gotten second. And
yeah.
Almost everyone else at 2-0 right now has won at one point or another.
Yeah, this is one of our 3 2-0 matchups this week, and so this is spicy. I was waiting to see this. I signed up immediately for comms for this one. I really wanted to be here in the front row seat for this particular race. Yeah,
I think the only two 2-0s who haven't gotten either first or second in the tournament is two guys playing a match tomorrow. Never heard of them before.
Are they scheduled for tomorrow?
We are. Assuming Slave has submitted it properly. We figured it out kind of late. Everyone's scheduled for tomorrow. So quick reflect town, but interesting. Neither runner going to check the spell hint. They want to see if they can find a way to get jump or fairy so they can get down stab and just, make only a double dip instead of a triple dip.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. That down step technique, I think they both are going to want that early on, or as early as they can get it, at least.
We got a Saria and a rock block.
Okay, yeah, this mountainous biome, interesting as usual. We'll have to get a better look at this. Last night's mountainous biome seemed pretty straightforward, granted the finish times of all the runners, but they could be some of the trolliest biomes in terms of finding things, so we'll see how easy it is to discover what we've got, although we've already seen 3 towns.
Yeah, and we definitely this right path, not accessible right now. Curious to see if either runner is going to check the Bagu hint, because they did get the front side of Saria.
That's true. Yeah, you don't really see people going for Bagu for the hint for him too often, because it's like, I don't know, we got some more to explore, and he might just be behind Saria the whole time.
Yeah, it's possible. It's one of those things where, because Saria is fairly close to start, if you do decide, well, I definitely need Bagu for this seed, it's not too much of a timeout to go back and recheck it, but...
I was also thinking that, if we're going to up an A out of Saria... Did you just say that? Up an A out of Saria, you could have just checked it and then up an A and gone back.
Yeah, well, it's a little tricky because, you kind of backtracking back and forth, right? If you're going to do that, you're going to get the mirror and then get the spell, and then... Spell just the spell, but probably worth picking up. I don't think it's castable right now, but it's something.
Yeah, it's both a good spell to have for some potential tough palace enemies you want to get through early on, or, God forbid that there's something in the spell tower today that we're actually going to need.
Ooh, spell is castable. We got a cast from jkoper.
Oh, wow.
Looks like it took pretty much all of his magic, though.
Nice, yeah. That's usually not castable till a little bit later, so we might see a little usage of it earlier than expected.
Yeah, I didn't see what it transformed the enemy into because he stabbed it immediately, but it was worth 10 points, so not going to be good for farming today.
I think Vix is following here in jkoper's footsteps, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to spit him out west of start. Yeah.
Yeah, Vix had checked. It looks like the far northern end. Wow, is this double mountain again?
Wow. That's not cool.
jkoper getting a raft. That's probably useful. Hard to say.
Yeah, especially with the cave connector to the east. If anything, I mean, we might not even see Death Mountain today. We're going to have to visit Maze Island, so that might be our connector. Pending, though.
Yeah, with especially with mountainous biome, really you can have connectors kind of anywhere. You never know when the mountain's just going to open up into a coast, and there's a raft right there.
Oh, there's Bagu, and here's Magic Container Cave for jkoper.
Okay, well, gets hit by the Dyra and 3 bars at life 1. But that's all going to go away.
I feel like Vix is in a slightly different direction than Koper, because he's seen 2 palaces now.
Ooh, all right, Kopa fighting this red Dyra, and he's got extra to play for. There's a P bag that dropped that he couldn't pick up because he had to back up.
Medicine Cave for Vix as well here.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing all the locations, but kind of out of sequence, either runner taking a little bit different direction.
Yeah, only 70 for that red Dyra. Not really worth it at this this attack level.
Yeah, but he was sort of in the way. All right, there's the hammer for Koper, so that's going to open up that spot just to the east of start. And Vix with Bagu is going to be able to do the same.
Yeah, there's that boulder block cave just next to Saria, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and
that's east to start, duh.
Yeah, and VixRyder getting flute with Mountainous East. The likelihood of River Devil being required has gone from basically none to low.
Accurate.
He tried so hard. He almost got there last night, and he didn't quite make it.
Speaking of not making it, there's Vix taking a death on the bubbles there in Medicine Cave. Got to walk the entire screen again.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. If you get hit by any enemy from below, it always punts you right. So if you get hit right next to the edge coming in, you just survive on zombie health. If you get hit on the way out, unfortunately, it knocks you away from the barrier and you have to walk all the way back.
So apparently we have a fairy spell there at 85 magic here in Raru.
Okay, that's nice. Technically puts our palaces in a logic, although not going to be accessible right now.
Yeah, I didn't see the first palace that Vix saw, but I saw P2. We got a statue stab and I saw the jar there.
Vic's going to take down his first red Dyra. Get the bad news, it's only 70, but it is going to give him attack 2.
Now, I am trying to figure out where these two went different from each other.
Yeah, I think Vix went south and jkoper went west, because Vix is sort of reworking his way up the west side and is now finding the item caves that Koper had found previously.
Yeah. And here's, of course, Bagger's Woods for Koper. So they're just doing what each other did here.
Yeah, just opposite orders. And then probably once they grab everything, we're going to see both runners take it up A and cross Saria via either the hammer or Bagu or the fairy spell. They now have every way to cross it.
Yeah, Vix not getting stopped by that red Dyra. They're able to make it through. Sees the same kind of drops here. What was this P-bag going to be? Okay, so we do have all three. We have 50s, 100s, and 200s, just not 500s yet. We've seen on the drop pool of P-bags.
Okay, Magic 2 made Fairy castable, again, taking basically all of Koper's magic, but he is going to check out this palace that I did not check. I didn't catch which one it is.
This might be P2.
P2 makes sense. I wouldn't want to go into a longer palace with only one cast of Fairy and relatively low levels, but P2 is going to be our second shortest palace, so...
Yeah, knowing the way that
not P2. P3... Right, is the short one. P2 is the long one.
Yeah, P2 is going to be well. I mean, I think it's worth a dig. They don't have to be long, but they could be. But yeah, you're right. 1 and 3 are the two shortest.
Yeah. But we'll see how far Koper gets into here. He doesn't have any extra lives or anything. We haven't seen extra lives in the drop pool. At the very least, these small enemies dropping 200 bags is going to give him some helpful experience.
Yeah, we're seeing attack 2. What was that, like 6 hits on that rope or something? Might have been 7 hits. Wow.
It's not great. And attack 1 is always 2 damage per hit, even with the randomness. But attack 2, I think, is like a 2 to 4 range in this version. I don't think it can go to 5. So there's a chance it's still very bad.
Yeah, I think we saw like 7 hits on the red iron knuckle, so not too bad. It might have been the rope that just rolled up in health.
Yeah, it's possible. Is this a glove block room? Is this the glove? This is the non-glove block version of this room, right?
Yeah, the left should be open there.
Okay. Yeah, you can see that little roof that indicates the glove block version.
Yeah, he came down and left and then up into this T-junction because there was another door in that second room into the palace. So he had one cast to get to the door going right, and then he had to go down and left. He got his magic back, but now
he finds another fork. So many paths here. And
he's losing magic. Like, I don't know how much it is to cast fairy, but he's getting hit by that bubble a few times.
I don't think that he's going to have enough anymore. When he casted the previous time, he had no pixels of magic remaining.
And speaking of junctions, he's in yet another. He's got a fairy on the right-hand side if he wants it, though.
Yeah, and I guess he did pick up Magic 3 in the meantime. Go west to find the hammer for Vix. Thanks.
What I was going to say about Vix a moment ago is that he's been clearing the overworld as much as he can before doing palaces. And so having that eastern connector, we might just see him hit that up real soon. Maybe he's going to use this hammer on that cave that's next to Saria first, but I think he's going to head east before he does anything else, really. He doesn't have fairy yet, it seems like, so he's got to find Rauru still.
Yeah, jkoper clearing this dead-end room. I think he's just looking to get experience for a level, and he's going to take it up A.
Yeah, we do see the 500 bag there, so we got every bag in the drop pool today.
Okay. 500 in the large, at least. 500s in the small could be a bit much. Okay. And that rock is not blocking the way to the other end of Saria. It's blocking Maze Island.
Oh, wow. Okay, so raft usefulness once again pending.
Yeah, we know the raft is going to lead to Death Mountain or just be a redundant path, neither of which the runners are really looking for.
What would be greatest if we had a segmented east?
Oh, boy. Koper not taking the up A, just killing those enemies for experience. This is going to be good for him. He's up on 3-3-4. Vic's still on 2-2-4.
These red jars, also red jars in the drop pool, man. This is a really nice drop pool for jkoper at the very least here. Again, fairy eating through a full 4 bars here almost, and he's getting potential drops for these red jars to refill along his path here. He's seen a lot of rooms, though.
Yeah, seeing a lot of rooms and not finding anything, really. Just a bunch of additional experience. VixRyder finds Trophy Cave on the other end of Saria.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh, that's a glove. He's going to be thankful that he did this instead of going east.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, we walk into Helenhead's room at least. Wow, that's a thing. That's a thing. You know, jkoper knows the overworld caves. Most people use trackers. Vix has a tracker. I don't know if jkoper has a tracker. He might be writing some things down, but yeah, that's he. Hopefully he doesn't leave that behind. Thinking that leaving the west here because that could be big earlier or at least sooner than later.
Yeah, well, especially since they've found so many of the possible progression items just hanging out here on the west. The only big question is going to be spells. Where are they?
Yeah, fairy. Well, I guess we got thunder. Or no, it's reflect and Mito, right? So we still haven't gotten a medicine hint.
Yeah, and Vic still hasn't found the fairy spell.
Yeah, and he's going east.
That's going to be a little awkward for him unless he finds an any key here in the east.
I was just going to say that as well. It's like he might find it in the overworld, but he might not, right? There's no guarantee. Like, as long as fairy's guaranteed accessible here, that magic key can be just literally anywhere.
Yeah, and VixRyder being forced to go up the coast here, there's a decent chance this east is boots blocked.
Yeah, not having Fairy, not able to. The 300-point orange Lizolfo is nice, but not having Fairy to be able to Fairy feed these, or even just Fairy through them, period. This first encounter, there's always one out of the 2 double Daruni encounters here that has generators in it, and of course we've got Scorpions with some Boggle Boggers that are trolling us. Boggle Boggers in the east going to be hitting kind of hard. He is going to make it, though.
Nice, point, and when he gets confirmation, east is boots blocked.
Oh, boy.
I don't think he saw it. He's going to keep going through this other encounter, but I am pretty sure there is no way forward from here.
So we're looking at potential, might be boots in 2, might be boots in the other palace we have access to, which once again, I don't remember what we saw. Might be Maze Island at this point. Wow.
Yeah, so with him not having seen the fairy spell, I'd want to be going straight to Maze Island at this point. There's 2 items there that are possibly progression, and for a whole, he knows, for all we know, the west could still be segmented.
Yeah, that's very true. We did see a lot of water there on the south side there on both of our runners. So it's these mountainous biomes, they open up at the water there, and it just could be a thing that we need the boots to walk around on. jkoper, finding a dead end here. I'm wondering where this item is at in 2. He's seen a lot of 2.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, my best bet would be on that stupid key door that he skipped right at the beginning.
Oh, just go right? Yeah, because I guess you need 2 fairy cast at that point. That's the one thing we don't have in his healthy drop pool, or happens to be keys.
Yeah, it's going to be awkward. If he wants to take it, he's going to have to take a death in between, but it's definitely the risk you take going into a palace with only 1 cast of fairy. It looks like it did go down somewhat at Magic 4, but still only 1 cast at 4 bars.
Yeah, jkoper seems to be taking the kind of spread the levels out here for each of the stats.
Yeah, it makes sense not having any extra containers early and knowing that you're going to need fairy casts.
Yeah, so Vixen, okay, look at the spell.
The spell of the east, turning enemies into red Lizolfos and absolutely destroying Vix.
So that could be a good thing if he wants to use it. If they're worth they could be as little as 50 experience, but if they're worth 200, which they are, that's a leveling strat right there.
I mean, it still cost him all of his magic, but he could get a magic level and then do it again.
Yeah, but I was going to say he's back in the east. So this pass-through cave must be a little different than that double Daruni encounter that he saw a moment ago.
Okay, jkoper has worked his way back. I think he worked his way back to that key door at the start, took a death, ferrying through. So we're going to see what's on the other side of it now.
Oh, Vic's trying to spell the Lizolfo. Unfortunately, they are immune, making out just with a sliver of health here.
Oh, no. jkoper found it loops back to start.
Wow.
And he's just given up on it. I don't blame him.
So on Vix's side, that pass-through did open up the east. At least he's got access to something else right now. We'll see how much.
Okay. It's going to be difficult to survive. Double blue Lizolfos.
There's a key in the drop pool right there for jkoper. Oh my God!
They must just be rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wow.
So I was gonna say, having fairy on jkoper's side, I imagine we're probably gonna go get downstab real fast here and check this check this medicine hint.
Yeah, definitely. The faster he can get downstab, the better. Vic's taken an up A. I'm not sure if he figured he would stuck or just figured he couldn't get out of that encounter. What would help him get out of that encounter would be downstab. But
yes.
Vic still needs to find fairy spell.
Yeah, this seems to be tucked away somewhere. Again, coming back to what we were just talking about a moment ago, these mountainous biomes can be pretty trolly to walk around on. They usually are, and you got these little pockets of locations, and you really kind of need to comb over everything to make sure that you've not missed something. Of course, he knows he doesn't have Raru, but, he's still gotta just look around and try to find this. But we're off to maze.
Yeah, maze makes sense. He's got 2 items. Could be boots here. Oh, also there's a raft tile here, so we'll be able to get to second half of East, Death Mountain. Who knows?
Yeah, let's see. He's headed this way.
I know one of those is a lot more appealing than the other. Womp womp.
At least it's a vanilla-like, so you're not going to be constantly in encounters, but he has the hammer. We could be looking around at the rock, but I understand you might just want to come back here. But again, just a real quick check to see if you can find that rock really quickly in Death Mountain could pay off.
I would definitely want to get at least these 2 maze items first. If one of them is the boots, it'll save you so much time even just doing that Death Mountain check.
Yeah. All right, so go ahead.
I said jkoper checking out the East now. Gonna get into the same situation that Vix did. Oh, deciding against it.
I was just going to say the fear that jkoper's going to go east without seeing Trophy Cave and getting that glove, and then he'll be kind of looking other places for an item that is just kind of sitting here in the west.
He gets his hammer hint. Useful as always.
Yeah, he has not gone back over by Saria yet. I mean, these are the things that slip your mind, though. 100%. You got so much going on. He's already been in a palace. He's trying to map out whatever was happening in P2 there. I mean, we still didn't see an item, but did we see a glove block or something, or did he just leave?
I don't think we did. Presumably, there's some kind of path that was just missed, but I don't think he. It's one of those things where you search almost all of the palace and you miss it somewhere, and you're like, well. The only way to find it now would be go back and check everything again, and I'm just gonna gamble that it's not a required item and
that's possible.
move on.
We do have a glove block to the left in this room, though, that he's in right now. So if that's the way through this 3/6 that he currently stepped in, there's the answer.
Yep, we're in for another long palace. Oh, jkoper casting fairy, forgetting he had a key and using his magic up.
Well, I see. Here's the thing about learning the rooms in and out. Well, he's in the item room right now, so let's look at this real fast.
Oh, thanks.
Just a money bag. I was gonna say the room that he cast fairy in. That's actually a repurposed. Wait, is it? Actually, I don't know what it is. It's got a 50/50 jar down there on the right hand side. So if you did know that, if you were really well versed with the rooms, you could go back down there and refill his magic.
jkoper getting a nice down stab jump over one of those pits. Vix still without down stab.
Yeah.
Going through here in the maze.
He has been capitalizing on the spell though, turning enemies into the red Lizolvos.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's basically full clearing this maze.
And there's a bridge there too. Did we see where that goes? It's got to. Well, I guess it could go. I mean,
I don't actually remember. Presumably he would have checked it. I feel like that's the sort of thing you check right away. But he, after taking his leveled up, he went back to the palace, reset his magic so he could spell some more, build up his lives again.
Of course, the lever is invulnerable or invincible on his island. Hitting him, not too, only less than 2 hearts at life 4. Not too bad. Usually they hit really hard, but life might be doing fairly well tonight.
Still potentially the trolliest enemy. I don't know, maybe Muse or higher up on the list.
No, yeah, I hate levers that spawn in the sky. I hate those things. You got to be so careful.
All right, Vix finding his second item here in the maze. Okay, I think a heart is welcome at this point.
Yeah, he's been kind of far without, he knows he needs the boots. At least he has the glove, and he hasn't found Fairy Rara yet. He doesn't know that's there as far as he's concerned. This could be on the east. Okay. Well, we come back to the west.
West? Yeah.
We see the grass tile just above our position here.
So potentially a segmented west.
So that's really cool. I do like the idea of that.
Yeah, it could be that you see some more of this. Looks like it's on the southern coast, and you see some more water. It could just be that this other route allows you to bypass the boots block across the bottom coast,
Yeah.
and we'll be able to clear it more easily later. Yeah, and it looks like nothing else here.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, I guess we've seen every cave as far as I can remember. So yeah, it was just grass tile we were missing, and then that other palace. So he doesn't know it's 3, and I don't think he's all that well versed in Downstablis Rebanek. So and I guess he doesn't have palace progression currently anyway. So not going to be digging that.
Yeah. And for Vix at this point, he's got to be thinking, what in the world is going on? I still haven't found the last spell here on the west. I found both segments. I've checked all over the place. You know, where is this spell?
Yeah, I guess he could say, well, we're just going to dedicate to the east. Let's just forget about Raru. Let's just say that Fairy, or at least the Magic Key, is accessible in the east somewhere. And he might be right. We haven't really seen any of the east at this point. We haven't seen a single location. He unfortunately showed us that past the double Darunia block there is a bunch of water that we need the boots to get by. But going south, he didn't get too far. I think he hit one of the difficult encounter and ended up either game overing and just up and out of there. So we haven't seen much of this east.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky because jkoper has decided that, with the somewhat, difficult to find stuff in the seed, he'll just go and do palaces, and it makes sense. But for Vix, he knows that they're not in logic, and him both not finding the fairy and not really finding much else in these extra checks is going to start to hurt him.
Yeah, we've seen a handful of door again with the fairy cast having the key for jkoper here, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
All right, we're testing Vix's neutral jump capability here. He does get it, but he's going to take the mace. Yep. That's tricky. I don't know if they're invulnerable if he just doesn't want to fight it. All right, sounds like we may need to refresh.
Yeah, I just refreshed. Koper has found his way into Barba. And at attack 3, this is going to take a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure if refreshing changed what I was seeing. So if anyone's having issues with us being a little ahead, maybe try the unpause trick on the stream. Although
yeah.
I am seeing a little synchronizing on my side here.
Yeah, Vix is just heading back to the east. He's thinking that's where progression is. And I don't blame him. It seems like at this point between the two runners, we know that progression has to be either in the east or in a palace, so.
Here we go again on this Blue Lusolfo. So we'll see. Again, I don't know if it's invulnerable. I don't know if he's taken a swing at it yet. He's not going to make it. No, see, this is one of those things that I was kind of alluding to earlier, where if you've got something like this, Vix may be in trouble. This is kind of like an advanced technique to try to get past this guy if you're not willing to fight him. I mean, he's jumpable, and that mace is avoidable, but you really have to be. It's really tight to get over him without having to fight him. And in this case, you just should really probably just fight him, but.
Yeah, once again, though, Vix not finding the fairy spell is really hurting him, right? He could have downstab here, and I mean, I don't know exactly where that town was, but jkoper found it fairly quickly, and Vix taking another game over for not having it. Meanwhile, jkoper has put about 40 stabs into Barba here and finally takes him down.
The other thing about that cave that Vix is in is that it's got one of those invulnerable levers in it. So if he pushes too far back, we see the lever activate, and then all of a sudden he's got to deal with that coming out of the floor as he's trying to fight a Blue Lusolfo. Kind of a tough cave.
So Koper takes down Barba, but unfortunately only 500 points. So he's not... I mean, he's at 354 anyway. He's been aggressively taking magic levels, but he's not going to be able to cast Fairy, and I don't know if he could afford to take a death. I think if he could afford to take a death, he would have done so already.
Yeah. Oh my, that's the glove block side. Okay, that's that elevator.
Okay, so we do know that we have a way around it. It's good news for Koper.
I mean, right now it seems like Koper is ahead. He hasn't seen an actual glove block just yet, I don't think. Again, I'm not sure why we dipped out of 2 without finding the item. Or maybe we did and we just completely missed it. It was nothing. But we did leave 2 and I didn't see an item pick up out of it. But Vix having the glove, right? That's kind of a big deal. And access to the maze. It hasn't given him anything just yet, but it's obviously necessary information, especially with seemingly the segmented west, the grass tile having nothing more than a magic container on it, although maybe the basement in Nukasudo is going to be in logic today. That's possible. Oh, is this our Raru? There we go.
I was about to say that it was difficult to say who was really ahead because both runners sort of just missed something. Wow. In the other palace set, it's blue iron knuckles.
Amazing.
I really should remember these IDs for the spell to know what what overworld enemy means what palace enemies, but I never do. But yeah, like I said, I was going to say both runners sort of missed something in their exploration of the west before moving on, and for Koper that was the glove, for Vix the fairy spell, and Koper ferrying through a key door for the 3rd time with a key already available. It doesn't matter here though because he's going to be able to refill. But
go ahead.
Vix finally going to pick up this fairy spell. So now is the question of how long is it going to be before Koper remembers to go across Saria and pick up that glove.
Yeah, because he might be off to the east here in a moment, and we know that if there's any glove blocks, this is not where our glove is today. And he's without the maze as well.
Yeah, one possibility here for Koper is... Oh, never mind, actually. Well, I was going to say, if Koper finds the 2nd segment of the West and, still doesn't find that last item, he might be thinking, well, this means I must have missed something in the other segment.
Yeah.
So, it's time to go check it. But unfortunately, the way to the 2nd segment is through the maze, which is right next to Saria.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually matter for Koper. Yeah, he's finding that dead end on the coast, forcing it up A. Maybe this will trigger him to check it. It's one of those things that I don't, you never know whether it's like in the back of his mind, like I definitely need to go back and do that eventually, or versus, it's just completely slipped his mind and he's never going to check it for an hour. But it looks like he's going to check it now, so.
Yeah, the vital information, but like you say, if Koper finds this will be pretty big. That's assuming he goes across. Sorry, he's going to find the maze, and that might drag him off into a different direction. Although it's just GP, he can do, I guess, P3 off the bridge, but he's still got to think about going across Saria.
Yeah, this is Vix's opportunity to catch up, right? He needs to be able to, clear a couple palaces approximately before jkoper finishes with this maze, before jkoper is going to be decisively ahead. We'll see what jkoper thinks about Death Mountain. Okay, he's sticking his head in a little bit more than Vix did, and then deciding nope.
Yeah, Vix finding the item there in 6, just that P bag, finds the dead end, up in A's, and is going to try a different location. If he actually goes, left at start, that's going to be a quick path to. Wow, did you see that? 2 hits from a Dripper tin suit, so that means attack 3 is doing incredibly poorly right now.
Yeah, weirdly, Dripper tin suit actually increases the health of the tin suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the Dripper, it sets the health of the enemy to the health of the vanilla Dripper, which in this palace set, is it a tin suit? I don't think it's a tin suit, right? It's normally a bot.
Yeah.
And bots have more health than tin suits, so it will actually set the health of the tin suit to a bot's worth of health.
Okay, so yeah, still 2 hits for a palace bot, though. It's still pretty bad.
Yeah. No, this attack 3 is still real garbage. But yeah, it could be tricky because it sets the Dripper enemy to the health of a bot, but not the vanilla health of a bot, the augmented health of a bot if he rolls up. So jkoper actually gone back and he's checking Death Mountain. Spec Rock, just a red jar.
Yeah, I like the rock check. Again, this is a pretty free biome to walk around. I mean, the rock could be very far away from where we landed, and it could be like 4 or 5 caves away, and then you got to walk that back, especially because he hasn't found the second item on Maze Island just yet. So I don't know, but it was so close that it did work out, but it was obviously nothing.
Yeah, from his perspective, he knows he needs the boots and almost certainly needs the glove as well. So you might as well check, Death Mountain here, because there's such a high probability that some,
Wow.
random out of the way item location is going to be one of our required items at this point.
Yeah, we're finding Hammer Cave though, so not too bad of a DM dig here. Hopefully, I mean, even if it's nothing, hopefully he backs out of here, because there's not going to be another connector for him. We've seen all our connectors so far.
Yeah, if his goal is to...
Or have we?
We have seen... I think we've seen all our connectors.
Oh, yeah,
right?
we have.
Yeah, because we got one cave to the east and the other cave to the maze.
Yeah.
And then the maze also has both other connectors on it.
Yeah, so Vix on Barba here found Barba a whole lot faster than jkoper did, so this is good for him.
Yeah, unfortunately, also doing Barba on attack 3 and taking about as much time as it took Koper.
All eyes on Koper, though, as we see what is going to be in Hammer Cave.
All right, just a heart.
So we don't have boots. We're not 100% sure if we need boots. That is an unfortunate death on Vix's side.
Yeah, that's going to cost him a minute or two. It's so many stabs. It's one of those things where you get into a comfortable pattern, and then when Barba gets low, you start thinking, well, I can't jump into him with momentum. I got to be careful with how I position, and it throws your entire rhythm off, and then you get hit, and you're right back to start.
So on jkoper's side, he is going east. He did not see the second item on the maze. He did not see the bridge. He did not see the palace, which is GP. He did not see the bridge, which takes us to the other segmented portion of the west with P3 and the grass tile. And he has not gone across. Sorry, he will be missing the glove. So right now, we're back again to missing some vital information where we thought jkoper might be stumbling upon that shortly, but he's headed away from it currently.
Yeah, it's going to be unfortunate because he's going to basically, I'm sure he'll just check everything on this east as he gets there.
Yeah.
Thankfully, with downstab, he's able to clear that cave very easily.
Yeah, worst case scenario, he would be able to just ferry kind of through the Lizolfo there.
One big question at this point, where's the boots?
Let's hope they're buried. Well, I mean, we might not actually need them, really. I mean, if we can get around on this south side of what actually is looking more like a vanilla-like now here in the east.
Now that we've gotten out of that little section, this does actually look quite a bit like vanilla-like.
Yeah, so that probably means with our four eastern pass-throughs, one of them is usually dedicated to Death Valley, so there's going to be 3 out there. We just used 1 to get down here, 2 left, and even all the Wilson encounters and whatnot, we're probably going to be able to access everything pretty easily here on this vanilla-like, just kind of perhaps a lot of walking.
Yeah, it looks like there's a decently sized central lake as well.
That's true, though. I mean, like you say, where are the boots? The boots still could be required in vanilla-like. So there's no. We'll get a better picture as long as jkoper survives over here. Oh, it's okay.
Oh,
wow!
Wow, he lived. I could not see any pixels of life remaining.
Vix does get Barba down there on that next attempt out of P6. Probably going to be headed to P2.
Yep, and jkoper taking another death, going to be down to 1 life. We'll see if he can find a palace soon to reset.
So looking at the payout from Barba, didn't get Vix attack 4, so he's still on this attack 3 right now.
Yeah, I think Koper was in the same boat. I'm a little surprised with all of the spelling into red Dairas that Vix was doing. He never managed to pick up attack 4. I guess he's in a similar situation to Koper, where he's been prioritizing getting magic levels, sees 3, 4, 5. Wants to be able to get 2 casts of fairy, though with his 6 container, it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah, he does have that extra container from the grass tile there. It looks like we're going to have 1 Moa in here, or it might be 0. I looked away for a moment. I didn't see if we saw all 4 enemies in Risen.
See if our question is answered here. It is not. It's just another container. But when you're exploring the East, finding a container not gonna be looked down upon. Never know what the basement holds.
Yeah, how much is Fairy at Magic 5? Do we see the cost of that?
I'm not. It is 39.
Oh, Coper not going to be trying to kill these guys. They're worth the 200 there. Oh, wow.
Yep, and Coper gonna take a reset. I think when he goes back to the East this time, we're probably gonna see a check across the River Devil's Bridge.
I think he's going back to the maze. That second item is missing still for him, and he's gonna, once he's over there, he'll see the bridge, and then he'll see P3. And I imagine that's what we're gonna be seeing here, unless we see a Saria check right now.
If we see a Saria check, the jkoper is way ahead. If we don't, we just see the maze. It's hard to say.
Okay.
And it is a Saria check, so jkoper is gonna get the one thing he was missing from the seed, is the glove. Interesting that Vix, now having picked up the fairy spell, did he get downstairs? Okay, he did get downstairs. Let's say he wasn't employing it to get across that enemy, so it was a little surprised. Okay, yeah, and Vix has, looks like, still just 2 casts at Magic 4 6 bars.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's 39 on jkoper's side at Magic 5.
Okay, so probably the same at Magic 4.
As for this P2, I have no idea where Helmet Head was at this point, watching jkoper very early on. We just know he cleared a lot of it.
Okay, oh yeah, that's right. He cleared a lot of it. This is, because he didn't find the item. This is that room that we were talking about that I don't know if jkoper ever went left in. He sort of got to this junction room and found another junction, but just up that first elevator and then to the left, I'm not sure we ever saw.
Yeah, me neither. But that's what jkoper needs now. He's got his glove out of Trophy Cave. I guess he's going to walk it back across Saria. It might just be fast up an A.
Yeah, it's got to be faster than up an A. Not sure, but not going to be too much slower at the least.
Yeah, I mean,
to take the walk back. Maybe he wants to, I mean, he could refill his magic in his life on the way.
Or I was going to say maybe he's got some experience he wants to keep, but it doesn't look like he's got much.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I think the second item on the maze is just going to be a heart for jkoper, and then magic container on grass tile once he sees it, and then whatever's in 3, if anything. Maybe Rebo is riding with the boots today. We're not sure.
Yeah, and so Vix looking like he's about maybe half a palace behind at this point.
Yeah, he's got as much information now as Coper does. He's got all this stuff. He's just, like you say, there's the palace behind, and this is simply just routing, right? I mean, if it's simply, at any point, we still got 4 more palaces to do. 3 is not going to troll our runners, I would imagine, but 5 may troll our runners, 4 may troll our runners, and so, yeah.
Yeah, Vix using some falling standing stabs, but it's a little tricky on this boss because he could just shoot you and your guard is not in the right position.
Yeah, we talked about this. It might have been you and I talked about it with somebody at a minimum. It's just the whole crouching falling attack here is great because you block his bullets if you're close enough to him right at the right angle, but it's like you really can't block him all that well when you kind of expose the rest of your body, the lower half of your hitbox to those bullets, and they hurt at a low life level.
Yeah, you can use falling crouch stabs, rising crouch stabs, a little bit of an advanced technique. I'm sure Mirai can make a tutorial on at some point. You can get double hits on him, but the most important thing is to be safe. Even if you are going to use these like standing stabs, the best thing to do is just do them one at a time, right? Get one hit, get a block, get one hit, get a block. Make sure that you're playing safe and you'll get through no problem, which Vix has done on his third attempt.
Yeah, it's just the fact that he will walk forward randomly into you. It's like when you do the jump attack, you're kind of gauging where he's going to be. If he's stationary, it's easy, but then he randomly wanders forward into you, and the next thing you know, your jump attack is now at the wrong trajectory, and you just body him.
This is nice. Vix using the spell to convert an enemy into a blue iron knuckle that he can kill in one hit, so that he can get his attack level before completing the palace to get a double level. You're gonna have to take a death, but totally worth it.
Yeah, funny that both are. Oh, we did have a glove block in 3, it looks like.
Okay.
Not sure if this was absolutely required or if there was maybe a loop in this direction, but if that was required, then good that jkoper found that glove ahead of time. That's the item room for him. He's backing out of it.
Yeah,
he doesn't recognize it.
He may not recognize it, or he may just be convinced that he doesn't need any more items, which is possible. I mean, if we can get the last 2 palaces, I guess it's 3 palaces. We haven't seen any of the eastern palaces, but if we can get to those palaces without the boots, then we shouldn't need any additional items. I guess we could still require a child.
I don't even remember where the hint for the medicine was, as both our runners have downstab now and have definitely checked where that medicine is. I have no idea where it is for Reflect, so.
All right, BT Slacker confirming P1, which unknown location in the east.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, like you say, child could still be Thunder at this point. Might be sitting on the water tile. Who knows?
Vix making good use of his additional magic levels to create some more red Lizalfos for 200 points. Unfortunately, he gets a couple of them caught in the brick. All right. Vix versus Blue Lizalfos, round 5. Now he has full fairy and down stab. He'll be able to just get past this, no problem.
Yeah, we find Rebanek on jkoper's side. Easy peasy corner strats here. Gets him down. Going to be probably getting above the 700 level here.
All right, we're finally getting a River Devil check, and he's useless. Thanks.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine there was anything up there, because that's right where we came from.
Yeah, either could have been like a road or something heading up north. We'll have a River Devil required seed one of these days.
Well, we might have a 3-eyed rock still over here that has something on it, or underneath it. So I mean, that's still hoping. Yeah. We haven't seen a lot of this east, right? We've got game overs from both of our runners. This is as far as Vix has made it. jkoper made it just slightly further than this, and then took the game over. So we still have plenty left to find.
Question in chat: does water walking boots allow you to walk on all water tiles? Mostly yes. In this flag set, it's always going to be the case. In some of the other flag sets or biomes, like if you have vanilla layout, then usually it doesn't. Or there's a flag you can turn on and off for that setting. But in these flags, all water is going to be walkable with the boots. I could absolutely make a River Devil required flag. I probably won't.
Just put it in Death Valley.
I mean, that's the easiest way to do it, right? But it still wouldn't necessarily always be required. The Valley of Death generation code can sometimes create some holes that to get into it via other methods. That whole system is weird and complicated and has bugs, as we keep seeing people get spit out into mountains. But
that's a feature. Just tell them to walk in the right direction.
Well, even outside of that, we've seen some stuff. All right, jkoper also checking the River Devil, also going to be met with disappointment, as we all are.
So we didn't see the item in 3, or did jkoper go back for it? I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. I think he's just decided, forget it. Oh man. I love TH's suggestion. River Devil blocks caves flag. Have item caves potentially blocked by a River Devil?
Yeah, we're missing an Eastern Boulder as well that was taken away in the rando for some reason.
Maybe we can add a setting for that.
All right, we found Darunia. Child is going to be jumped today, and Thunder is in Nibiru, so Child not required unless we're going to want the jump spell. Getting up stab on jkoper's side. I think our two runners are right nearby each other here.
Yeah, sort of once you found this path, you sort of got everything. Vic's going to go directly into Valley of Death, an interesting choice.
It is here, and I think I could, I mean, it's not going to be GP, but it could be 4, right? And this could be a waste of his time. Well, yeah, it could be a waste of his time, so...
Yeah, there's a 1 in 3 chance that this is 4. I don't love those odds. Otherwise, I would say, yeah, sure, whatever. You get to clear palaces eventually.
Yeah, I mean, what are we still missing? We're missing desert, water, sunken, and Nukusudo items, so... speaking of Nukusudo...
Yeah, jkoper going to be able to check both locations.
Yeah, he is the only one with 7 containers now. Oh boy, okay. There's your answer on where those boots are at.
Vic's making a very impressive run across a jumpless, intended strats Valley of Death screen.
Yeah, always hoping that there's not like an invisible Mo in here that's just going to knock into the lava.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that there's one in this enemy set, but if there is, then you could kind of forget it unless you make a conscious attempt to take it out first. And both times, first try, making it across the long gap. Very impressive. And he's rewarded with Palace 1.
Not going to up an A to get his magic back here.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that line. He's going to have a 600 experience he could keep, but he's on 4, 5, 6 already. He's got 6 containers.
I mean, just get a red jar from the drop pool.
Yeah. Okay, Koper getting trophy from a spell tower. That's not going to be too useful.
I'm not even sure what that is at this point.
That is the life spell.
Skip.
Yep, that seems very likely. Koper did pick the trophy up. If GP ends up being real difficult, maybe you can make a side trip to grab it, but...
I was going to say that P3, seeing as it doesn't seem to hold any real progression for us today, not really too far out of the way for Vic, seeing as GP is on Maze Island, so you could just do, like, if you've done everything else, then you're on your way to GP, you just walk by it for a moment, go do 3, and then finish up GP, just walk out of 3 and walk back to the maze and do GP. So routing-wise, not in bad shape at this point by skipping 3.
Yeah, big still unanswered question is Reflect in Old Kasuto, or is it in Darunia?
It is in Mito.
It's in... Wait, Reflect is in Mito? Oh, I just somehow totally missed that. Okay.
Yeah, so...
That's right. We need our trophy out of P... or medicine out of P1.
Yeah, Darunia was jump, so...
Yeah,
okay. Fire is Old Kasuto.
I just missed it. Okay, well, fire could be a way out of needing the trophy.
Yeah.
Or the medicine. So no kid required then, and we're just gonna move on with our lives.
There are invisible Mo's in that graveyard encounter though, hitting jkoper.
Okay, nice. Vic's only gonna be 20 experience short of attack 5. He is going to skip to get it, and he is going to backtrack because he knows that there is a required medicine in P1.
Now, this could work out a little in his favor here, seeing as he's going to have attack 5 in P5, where jkoper is only at 4. Attack 4 still has just walked into P5, so his Goomba might be a little bit more difficult. P5 not guaranteed to be better. I mean, attack 5 not guaranteed to be better than attack 4 by all that much. If anything, could still roll the same. So,
yeah, but given it's... Attack 4 didn't seem great And at a certain point, if attack 3 rolls low and attack 4 rolls low, at a certain point, attack 5 is actually guaranteed to be better, just because min roll attack 5 eventually gets to a certain point.
Yeah, the only way I gauged 4 being better than 3 is that we could actually one-shot the bots at that point in palaces instead of hitting them twice.
Okay, attack 5 killed Red Iron Knuckles in 2 hits, so quite reasonable.
Here's our medicine.
Yeah, those ropes going down in 1. Medicine get. Is he gonna up A? Okay, I was wondering if he was gonna save out of here. Okay, he is. And I think this makes sense. Get your reflect spell, then go check the rest of the east. So when you find 4, you're not backtracking.
Yeah, this could work out well for him, seeing as that was P1 first there, and then medicine, reflect back to the east. Like you say, we're able to do 4 and 5, and then be done with the east, come back to 3, then GP, sitting right next to each other.
Okay, Guma not too far into P5, but wow, even with a shield cast, almost 3 bars per hit.
Not incredible. I would not. Oh no, he must have been
he
hurt.
was just missing. It's just hard to tell with this quality. Okay, so not bad at all. Okay, only about 1 bar. That's much more normal.
Yeah. I was gonna say with shield that would be 6 bars of health at life 6 from Guma.
Yeah, life levels are weird, so it's theoretically in the realm of possibility. But yeah, so just over 1 bar per hit. Koper probably can take 6 hits, maybe only 5.
Yeah, it looks like 5. Looks like it's a little bit more than 1. Looks to be incredibly beefy, though. We'll have to start seeing if his bars drop a little bit faster now that we finally carved one off of him.
Yeah,
there
I mean,
they go.
And this could just be, the attack 4 difference, right? Attack 4 really not doing very much damage. We'll see when Vix gets in here if attack 5 does a lot better. I suspect it will. Oh, and I think that's a game over for Koper. Nope, he's got 1 life remaining. Okay.
And at least he knows how to get back here. Like you say, it's not that deep in, so game overs aren't going to be that detrimental, but the clock is ticking here, right?
Yeah, for sure. And jkoper not off to a great start. He's trying to employ quick strategies, but it's causing him to take hits, and we'll see if he backs off and starts doing safe strats, but it's not going to be on this life.
If I'm not mistaken, I think jkoper likes the jump spell here on Guma, and not having it changes up his normal strategy.
Yeah, well, he's deciding to skip it and just get attack 5 somewhere else before coming back. I don't blame him.
We haven't seen a fire check. We know it's not going to be spell, right? Because we've seen our players using the spell and then attacking with it, so we're not seeing a fire cast come out of it.
Yeah, but if this is fire life, that could be huge.
Either fire life or fire reflect would be really helpful for Koper.
Okay, not life.
It's not thunder.
Could be reflect.
Yeah, it could also be spell, because spell doesn't work on the old Kasuto Moas.
Yeah, it could be. We'll have to get some more testing information as Vix is making his way through Darunia here, getting his upstab.
I think Koper's looking for this 3rd palace. Unfortunately, it's going to be 4 from what we know.
All right, Helmet Head guards the child, so that's what jkoper skipped out on in P2.
Okay. I think we've got Sunken P-Bag Cave right here next to where Koper's at in this Wilson encounter. Not sure we're going to go into it at this point. Don't really need anything unless it's the magic key, which I don't think is going to be too desirable for our runners right now.
No, I don't think so.
Cannot get the boots, though, it is 7 containers to get into the basement. No boots.
That's potentially rough. I don't know how much time those boots are going to save on this eastern overworld. I don't have a great visual map of the northern half of the east, but
yeah, right now the boots gave us water tile which was a magic container. So it is one extra magic container that Coper's going to have.
And that's a lot. The seed having as okay. So Cooper confirming that the second Overworld Palace is accessible, but is that a required lake? I know jkoper crossed a lake to get over here. If that lake is required to be crossed in order to get to this palace, jkoper is way, way ahead. That'd be terrible for Vix.
Well, he's in a pass-through right now, so I'm going to say probably not. This is probably going to lead to that middle section of a vanilla lake.
Yeah, we'll see. It's entirely possible a pass-through just leads into a mountain or a lake or something. Okay, no, it does lead into some connection of terrain. Okay, yeah, this is definitely, that's P5 there. So Vix should be able to get everything without the boots. It's just going to take him a little bit longer. He's going to have to find that cave.
Did jkoper walk into 4, though, to confirm 4 was there? And he should probably be headed into P1, I would imagine. Maybe just getting a refill here. Or he hasn't gotten Thunder yet. Yeah, he hasn't gotten Thunder yet. So this is Thunder for him.
Okay, yeah. And then probably we'll see Valley of Death shortly after. He has to have checked that spot that is P4. It'd be crazy not to.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't mistake that for thinking that it was 5 and then, or vice versa, that it was the palace that he was, whatever. Like he might have thought that he already walked into one of those palaces, didn't check them. And then he's just going to assume that. But he did just see the both. Okay, yeah, he saw both of them. I'm assuming he had to have at least walked into them.
Yeah. All right, so Vix has entered a palace. So is this
it's 4.
P4? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we still don't have that fire combo confirmation just yet, so maybe we'll get an attempt at what could he'd have to run into a red or blue Lozolfo, a Moa that drops fire, a Mago, I guess a Scorpion that shoots fire. That could give him an answer as well.
Yeah, Vic's taking a lot of hits getting through that room, but just deciding I got to go fast at this point. I'm just going to body everything. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he must feel behind. I mean, it took him 28 and some odd minutes to finally get Fairy. And he didn't make any progress really anywhere else. There was no key to be found. And all the vital information he had found early on, like the glove and that segmented section, has already been found by jkoper. So,
yeah, our magical key's still MIA, despite almost everything having checked so far.
Yeah, at this point, I'm guessing we saw all of Death Mountain. So it's, I guess a palace or Sunken Peabag Cave.
Yeah, it could be Sunken Peabag Cave. We haven't seen the item in 4. I don't think we saw the item in 5.
Yeah, we didn't see the item in 3 either, as jkoper just walked by that room.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, jkoper found the item room but didn't check it. So some spots remaining, some possibility that Vix ends up picking up a magical key on his travels here.
Yeah, he goes for the 50-50 statue jar, and unfortunately gets the red iron knuckle dropped on him and gets him results in a death there.
Yeah, and then he does it again when he's at full, which a bit of a questionable decision. But
he is routing right now, so he's not taking any gambles to the left. He's the first one in 4, so whatever he's doing is all new to us here. We don't have any. jkoper's not been in here just yet. jkoper is in 1 though. With his, we know is pretty straightforward. It's going to be, I believe, an elevator up to Horsehead, and then left from there is just going to lead him linear to the medicine. But if he doesn't check this fire combo, he's going to have to go back to the west and then come back to the east here. So Vix potentially here in a better position than jkoper currently. But jkoper doesn't know how to get to Guma. But assuming that was just standard routing to get to Guma, then Vix is not going to have a problem doing that either.
Yeah, I think it definitely depends on whether if fire is reflect. I think it's very close. If jkoper has to make a trip back to the west, he's going to be a little behind.
Here's the thing, though: is he going to be able to check that fire spell? What it's combined with here in P1? I don't know. He's going to get the medicine. Then what do? You can up an A and try to hit an encounter in the east, and try to confirm what it is.
We didn't see Vix do any stabs after casting the reflect spell, so we don't get any information on the backwards link. I don't know if it's in a configuration that works here. I don't entirely understand why that bug happens, but we potentially could have gotten some information on whether Reflect was linked to Fire there, but did not. Yeah, and jkoper wisely choosing to not take this Magic 6 and instead save up for Attack 5 20 points later.
Vix taking this pass through to the north, I believe.
Yeah, the 50-50 charts are fun. I do know how to change what the 50-50 charts drop. If people are ever interested in some wackiness, like statue shuffle, we could have some statues dropping Kingbots. It's
no, thank you. No.
Terrifying.
Veto.
It is doable.
Veto. All right, we are into P5 on Vix's side here. We'll see how easy it was to reach this Guma. I think jkoper is one room away from his medicine, unable to test this fire spell at the moment. Unless maybe he already knows the answer and we just didn't see it. Maybe we hit shield for him. I don't know, you know. Well, no, it can't be shield. We saw shield cast on Guma. We didn't see any fire at that point, so.
Yeah. I am not confirming statue shuffle is for sure coming, but it's something that I could do if there's interest.
All right, well, jkoper back to the west, going to be hitting up Mito. 3 more screens, a basement, and then back to the east. Got a lot of walking still ahead of him. Hard to gauge exactly what the offset is here. Simply, Vix is going to have to pass up GP on the maze to go to P3. A little bit of time is going to be spent in there, just a little bit, and then he'll be into GP. We'll see what GP has in store for us. If it's straightforward, this is going to be real tight. If it's a troll, it still could be tight, but we'll definitely get both our runners in there looking around for things.
Yeah, if this does come down to a GP race, Koper has had quite a number of come from behind wins by executing and routing in GP really well. So I think the advantage is definitely to him if it comes down to that. We'll see how much of a lead, if any, Vix is going to have going there. And Attack 5 looking better on Guma.
Yeah, I don't think still life 6 here. He can't take a hit even with that shield spell, so he would take a game over. I think he's just got to avoid the flail, right? Okay, but don't hug him.
Just don't get hit, right? That's
no touching.
Have 2 more lives remaining. It looks like at Attack 5, only about 2 stabs per bar.
Oh, he was unshielded on that hit there too. Just over 2 hearts of damage there, unfortunately.
Okay, he's got a couple more hits he can live. Yeah, wow. Guma loves hugs, but Link does not.
Yeah, Koper with Reflect now going to be headed back to the east. Again, we know he's got a little bit of a walk, so... But then again, maybe he can make some shortcuts across water and avoid encounters just as a general rule. I wonder if you could actually go north through that double Daruni encounter and actually wrap around. I don't think you can, but I don't think we ever confirmed. Well, I think we did over there by the desert tile. I think we confirmed that it was rocks, mountains all the way down.
I think it was rocks, so it's not gonna help at all.
All right, well, Vix first to place the 5th gem here.
Yeah, and it's not going to be too long for him to get to P3. Picking up Attack 6. Pretty solid levels. We'll see if he takes another level in P3 or just decides to burn it. I don't think Vix is usually a fan of burning gems.
Oh, he's been burning some gems lately.
It's a good thing to do once you start feeling really confident, especially at 666. I think he should feel very confident with his ability to execute in GP.
Wow, that is a fast Karak. I thought, was that as fast for Vix? I mean, it was fast for Vix, but I mean, I feel like it was faster for jkoper.
It's possible. I don't know. They both sort of found an elevator and went down it, but I don't know if the way to it was faster in either way. Okay, yeah. jkoper doing some stabs, not getting fire. Oh no, he did. It's just his projectile's bubble. Yeah, so fire was reflect, as we can see from the backwards link, and jkoper just went to get reflect for no reason.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, that was he had time to save there. That was a real time save.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately totally flipped around and it ended up being a time loss overall.
Okay, so it's still going to be close. Koper knows how to get to Guma. It's not that long of a trip.
Yeah.
And Vix does not know anything about P3.
Yeah. And on top of that, the boot's technically a little bit faster through the maze on jkoper's side, but jkoper having more resources. He's got 8 containers, 8 magic containers, and 6 heart containers, whereas Vix not having the 6th heart container and missing 2 magic containers could come into play. I didn't see how expensive Thunder is, but that could be something that reduces his safeties on Thunderbird.
Yeah, Vix choosing not to fairy feed through these encounters, just gonna walk it up the slow way. I'm not sure if this northern route was the fastest way. It probably is. He probably knows where to go. Okay.
I think the southern route was forced dead end down there. I think the northern route was the only way through. Okay,
so Vix, and Vix successfully fairy feeding through, and he's gonna get into an item cave that is required to pass by. Okay, so I don't remember how long P3 is, but
I don't think it was very long.
There's a solid chance that both our runners are in GP within 20 or 30 seconds of each other.
Yeah. Oh, he's going left first, which I'm going to say is probably not the way, unless it loops around. It might loop around.
I don't remember what the correct way was for jkoper. It's been so long since he did this P3.
No, this is the item room up here. It was left is faster because that was the glove block room that I talked about that Koper went through, and I was like, it was required unless it loops around, and sure enough, left from start, hits that glove block elevator room. Oh, he's going to have the same amount of hearts, okay.
Oh, interesting. He's taking an up A instead of checking the second path of that elevator. He's going to go... Is he going to go right here? Is he going to go left again? I think he's got to be planning on going right. Okay, so this is going to hurt him a little bit. He doesn't know that he was basically just a couple rooms away from the boss.
Yeah.
And Koper already having killed Guma.
Yeah, very nice there with the shield spell. I don't know if he came in uninjured, but definitely didn't take a lot of hits there.
Yeah, attack 5 making all the difference in the world here. And he's going to have attack 6 in just a bit.
Look at that. It's one extra room from the going right. You save one room going left from start. It's the same elevator here. Yeah. He's going to go up and right, and that's going to lead him to Rebo. Wow. So there's the whole picture on P3 right there.
Yeah, wow. Really just absolutely nothing going on in this P3. But jkoper's on his way to GP. It's good. I still don't know who's going to make it first.
I think jkoper is because he's got the boots to walk across the maze and can avoid every single encounter.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, I had forgotten there's actually a couple rooms here on this path. I thought we'd have Rebo right away.
Yeah, I didn't know how many were between the elevator, right? So it's like, it seems like if there's only 3-4 rooms between the elevator and the item room and the one branch to Rebo, it seems like we're probably expected to have another 6 to 7 rooms before Rebo here. Yeah,
this is going to take a little bit of time as jkoper. Yeah, this river's going to save like a minute. Maybe a little less, but let's get a time here. 1:11:30.
Yeah, as I have to minimize the race room here because I do not want to be spoiled out of the corner of my eye in case it comes down to a close finish. All right, do we have a King Bot that trolls immediately? We do not. Although there could be one here at the end of this room that he's in. Oh, this Rebo.
Yeah, Shift asking if there's 67 more rooms. Nope, the most we can have in any GP is 62 is the limit.
Well, with the shortened GP, it's gonna be 48, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be a little shorter, but there's a technical limit in the game that prevents any palace from being larger than 62 rooms. Yep, and like 112.20-ish, so about 50 seconds advantage to jkoper.
Yeah, we had a branch. jkoper went up and left through kind of a busy bird room, and then he ferried through the end of that and had a forced ferry here. We'll see which way Vix goes. He can get his jkoper getting his magic back if he steps backwards. Not going to take that opportunity though.
And Vix is going up. I saw someone suggested, chat, that we could recode the room to have even larger palaces. If anyone other than J-Ro was the one who said it, I would be critical of the idea. But if that's a thing, then I'm totally down for it.
Just got to move to MMC5.
Yeah, right. Just got to change
Easy.
a whole lot of the way the code is organized.
Oh, jkoper taking the death. He did pick up life as well with the trophy spell. Okay.
And
but
Vix,
taking
unfortunately, hitting a dead end up was not the way.
Oh, up.
Or at least when Vix went up, it the way that
he came back down. He came back
down.
down.
He came back down. Okay, so up is the way, and that left is just the dead end.
Yeah, so jkoper taking that unnecessary death there, though. He just fell into the lava, had magic to cast fairy and everything, so that kind of sucks, but...
Yeah, it's hard. The reaction, unless you already have fairy queued up, the reaction time it takes to be able to cast it in time is, it's not slow. You could very easily end up casting fairy already in the lava.
This looks like a fun setup right here.
Oh yeah, it's nice little kingbot. Does jkoper have upstab?
He does.
Okay, he didn't. I was a little surprised he didn't upstab that kingbot, but taking just a little bit of a hit.
All right, we had that left and right there at that glove block elevator. We'll see what Vix does when he gets there. Got an elevator down here, though, for jkoper. Okay.
All right, well, jkoper has found the way. These 2 extra bars of magic really coming in handy.
Yeah, that's true. That's an expensive... They're both at Magic 6. That looked like about a 72-ish, 70-something...
Yeah, 76.
Okay, yeah, that's... Vix just saving that there. Same room where jkoper took the death, though. I guess if jkoper kills Thunderbird on this life, that Vix, assuming he makes it there without dying, will have to take the death, and they'll be even leaving out of Thunderbird's room. And of course, assuming he goes right at the junction here.
Yeah, and Thunderbird's going to drop an extra life as well. So
very
that's
true.
Be a boon to jkoper.
Yeah, that's always nice to see. It's a good reward. It's a better reward than a blue jar.
Yeah, extra lives as a boss reward is one of those things where in 6 out of 7 palaces, it's completely useless, but on Thunderbird, it really does help.
Wow, neither one of our runners having jump, and some of these rooms could be a little tricky.
Yeah, and jkoper kind of made a situation for himself here. I'd reset the room at this point.
Yeah, that is a tricky jump there. So he's got 1 life in reserve, right? Plus the one he's on.
Yeah, he could just back up here and try to, like, you can just break like the first block, but he just gets some stabs on that spicy chicken. So.
Oh, Vix with the death. Well, he'll be good for Thunderbird though, because Thunderbird's at the bottom of this elevator. As long as he doesn't waste too much magic. Oh, he's got 96, right? So he'll be good here. Unless he gets hit a bunch and then casts life like on the way down, and that'll be a waste.
Oof. No, okay. He does make it through. So he's going to be even with jkoper on lives coming out of here.
Is he going to be able to shield in this, though?
I don't think so.
Doubt it's a one-shot from Thunderbird at this life level.
Just barely.
Holy jeez. All right, do we have a 4-way here for jkoper, or is this a anthill? It is just an anthill. That's what I refer to this one as.
That's a good name.
This version and the 4-way both have exactly the same left-hand side, so it's hard to tell when you first walk in.
jkoper finding the room previously known as Broken Elevator Room.
Right.
One of the nice things about the new 4.2. We have fixed that despawning elevator.
Man, jkoper needs to just ferry up and get out of there. Yep, that's the move. But with that junction, we'll see what happens here. Vix slated to take down Thunderbird. There it is. Might go up and right, and if that's the case, we'll have divergence.
Yeah, Vix doing the traditional, if you cast shield, you don't get hit. If you do cast shield, or if you do cast shield, you won't get hit. If you don't cast shield, you're definitely going to die.
And jkoper taking some body damage there. May just want to ferry over this and then hit the elevator, come back and get the ferry on the right-hand side of this room. This is a community ferry room. God, this is sketchy.
I would be definitely casting ferry here, but jkoper makes it through clean.
Probably check. Oh, I thought he was going to check for Darklink up first, but he's going to get this ferry.
Yeah, so Vix executed that strategy I was talking about when you have a spicy chicken at that first block. Just break out the one block, right, like this one and then the one below it, and then get the enemy to drop down to the lava, and you still have one block that you can jump onto across the gap.
Yeah. Well, we've got an up and a right in the next room for Vix, which jkoper stayed down. Then we have a down and right and an up and left on jkoper's sides. One more room for Vix. And then this 3 ways so far to go here post Thunderbird.
As far as changing Darklink's behavior, I mean, I'm sure I could import it. I don't know how much we'd want that. Oh, jkoper finding a dead end. So Vix, if he does take a divergence here, is going to be he's going to have an advantage. But so far, taking just exactly the standard routing the same way jkoper has. So.
Oh, there's a death, unfortunately. Oh, he's still got 2 lives there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't blame either runner for doing this standard routing. It's standard because it's the most likely to be fast, but oh man, the chicken and the bubble's really bodying jkoper.
Yeah, we've got divergence here. Vix backed out of that pit room with the bird and is headed now up and right. And,
is this the same room?
Well, I don't think it can be because we would have nowhere else to go.
It's possible. I've been tracking that well. I mean, it's definitely the same room. Is it the same? Is it the same room? The same room? It really does look like it. There's a bird on the other side.
But then what does that leave?
I don't know. There must be a path somewhere because, yeah.
No.
Oh,
there it is.
There it is. You go left from that.
Oh, my God.
Wait, it's right here. It's right here.
Yeah, it was up and right after Thunderbird and not right.
But Vix doesn't have enough magic to cast life.
Oh, wow. Well, he's got another life, though, doesn't he?
Does he have another life? He does. He does have another life. Oh, and he also has enough to cast life. Okay, Vix is going to be fine. GG. jkoper's right in the room. This is the room. He just needs to go right here, and he. Oh no. This is upstairs. So, wow. So those 2 rooms looked like the same room, but I don't think they were.
No,
I think they just were the same room with an identical enemy set. Geez, I've never seen jkoper have that in a race before. And unfortunately for Koper, this is not the right route. GG's to Vix. Let me get his official race time. Is 1:20:35. I say a ZSR bot beats Miss the Punch.
Yeah, wow. It's possible that this loops around to the other side of where Vix came up from. It was a T-junction, right was Darklink, and left was another path. So it's possible that this eventually loops around to that left-hand side, but there still could be plenty of rooms remaining. Yeah, jkoper on low health here.
Yeah, I don't know if he has any more lives remaining. He doesn't, and that's a lot of chickens.
The whole family.
A 3-piece bucket here, and he's going down. And Koper decides that's enough for him and has forfeited. So hopefully we'll get both our runners in just a sec for an interview.
Yeah, and just a heads up, we do have another race coming up in about a little over half an hour. Not sure if it's going to be here in the ZSR network or somewhere else, but if you want more Z2R, there is more coming up here. Yeah, I think jkoper is going to join us, putting his headset on. Vix joining us here. jkoper joining us. GG, gentlemen.
Yo, GG's.
jkoper is muted.
Right, I'm muted from tracking before. Got it, GG.
Yeah, so this was quite a race from the top down here. I don't even know where to start. Elendar, do you know where to start on this one?
I mean, the story of the early part of the race was that you both missed something in the West and sort of went on without it, and it could potentially have been problematic. Vix, you didn't find the fairy spell and ended up checking a bunch of overworld, having some problems getting into the East. jkoper took you a long time to do that Saria check and didn't have the glove. And thankfully, none of the palaces you went down to ended up being glove blocked.
Yeah, I'm... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
No, all I was going to say is that I think I just did 2 palaces and they weren't glove blocked. Though I spent a lot of time in 2 looking for the item and never even got it. Although I don't know how much time it really was looking for the item, because a lot of it was just going through the palace and finding the boss. And then I went back in for a little bit and was confused and gave up. So it was a couple extra minutes. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that just... I got very fortunate stumbling on the glove as early as I did. That fairy felt bad because I kept bashing my face against that blue Lizalfos in that one way to get in the east. And had I had that fairy earlier, I could have gotten through that significantly faster.
Yeah, I think I guess ultimately what it came down to there was on the East is that Vix, you went into P1 as soon as you went into Death Valley, just gambling on whatever palace it was. Could have been P4 there for all
I was
you at the time.
really hoping that wasn't P4. I went there,
Yeah.
I'm like, I spent so much time trying to get here, I'm going to go do this and pray that it's not P4.
Yeah, and that happened to be P1, and then easy to get through there. If there were any blocks, you had the glove and fairy already anyway. So hit up Horsehead, get the medicine, go back to the East, and then go find 4 and 5. jkoper, you found 5 first. Unfortunately, took the game over to Guma there. It wasn't too far in, though, so it wasn't too much time spent there. However, you did get fire out of Old Kasuto. You kind of gave it a check or two there. You really didn't see what it was, and then it ended up being Reflect, and unfortunately, you still went back after Death Valley with medicine, go back to Mito, get Reflect from there. That was the lot of time there, and unfortunately, it seemed like fire was Reflect today.
Yeah, no, it definitely was.
Okay.
And I mean, that was obvious when I was on Karak, if nothing else. But I was about 90% sure, and I thought about it, and I thought about skipping the item, and I thought about getting the spell. It was like, if I was wrong, obviously, I don't want to go back to P1, and I wasn't going to have another chance to pick up Reflect. Not really. Well, yeah, I had to pick up Reflect right then if I was going to get it at all. But yeah, there was no real way to verify completely that it was Reflect, but I think I had it by process of elimination. Yeah, I think the only other thing it could have been is Spell when it didn't do anything at first. But and I could have checked that, I think. I don't think Spell would have given me fire if Spell was fire, right?
I think it does. And both of you
Okay.
were using Spell to turn enemies into higher experience enemies as a result of getting kills in one shot. So we just didn't see fire coming out of either one of your swords at that point. So we assumed it wasn't going to be Spell Fire or Fire Spell.
Okay.
But a quick check, is to check the fire that comes off the mow at the front of P4. You can kind of just slide into that fire on the ground. If you cast Reflect, it'll tink and disappear. That's a quick check for.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were thinking, where could he find any blue Lizolfos? Where could he find some scorpions that shoot fire? We didn't see any, and it didn't even occur to me during commentary to even mention that. But now when you said that, I'm thinking, oh man, he could have just gone back to 4 and checked it on the Moa's own fire.
Yeah. I guess that would have been a bit of a walk back to 4, I think. But although I suppose if I had verified that it was Reflecting, I could have just beaten 4 at that time, which also would have pressured me to beat 5 at the same time, and I wasn't excited about beating 5. I think I had maybe I had attack 4 on Guma the first time.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and attack 4 was not good, but attack 5 was good. So if I had somehow gotten to attack 5 in the meantime, then I think I probably wouldn't have been okay on Guma the next time. But I don't know. I just went and picked up the safeties and made it feel much safer for sure.
Yeah.
But and I didn't regret picking up those safeties because that GP seemed pretty tough. So
yeah, there was that junction after Thunderbird that went up and right, that stayed down and right and went up and right. And if you went straight right, which you did, it was a pit room with a blue bird in there that was bouncing around that you broke out the blocks and then ferried out of there. Vix saw that. I think maybe you took a death in there, Vix.
Yeah, I was on my last hit at that point, and I said, you know what, there's a blue bird in here, I'd rather not fight it. I'm gonna go up and see what's up at the top, because I can at least ferry across the top room.
Oh?
Yeah, and that ultimately led to an elevator which went up into a T-junction, and immediately to the right was Darkling from there. It was another room or two beyond the first junction, but it was just a few rooms after that. Yeah, jkoper, you had stayed right. You then found a ferry room, which was a community room there with the platforms you jumped across with the lava. You went down and right, saw the dead end, came back, went up and left. That looped around you to the right into the emoji room, where ultimately you were out of lives and out of life at that point, and that's where the FF came.
Yeah. So who got to the room with the blue knight first?
You did.
Okay. All right. Well, what can you do at that point? But yeah. What can I have to say about that? I feel like I'm not sure how I would have gotten the glove too much sooner. I don't know. Like I just went to the towns at first and got all the spells and just got I don't know how I get the hammer before going and checking those towns.
I hadn't found Rauru at that point, but I did find Bagu. And so I went south of Saria to see if there was more down there and just happened to luckily stumble upon that glove.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Yeah, Hammer opened up the maze, which was right next to Saria there, by the cave.
Right. Hammer did open that up. And I didn't have Fairy the first time. I didn't have Bagu, of course. You just randomly ran into Bagu, I guess?
Yeah, I was walking through the woods and I just happened to stumble upon it. I'm like, well, okay, I'll just grab this while I'm here.
Yeah.
Because that was before I found any of the Bagu's Woods tiles at all. I just randomly found him, which helped a lot.
Yeah, I found a couple Bagu's Woods tiles, but not Bagu. Yeah, I don't remember it being challenging to find Fairy. I don't know. It was a bit of a walk down there, but
it was a valley that I just missed on my first way. I went north instead of south, around the north of the west, and found all that up to the north, and just never checked to the south. So I was very late to ferry. And I was still really low leveled. Like I ended up doing attack 3 Barba. And I had to do it twice because I got down to the last hit and dropped a B input and missed a sword and ran right into him.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I think I also did attack 3 Barba, and yeah, that took forever. I mean, that must have been after you got Fairy, obviously.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, once I got Fairy, I started rushing the dungeons I could access on the west.
Yeah, I don't know if it was... It turned out okay. The doors weren't that much, and there were some keys in the drop pool that helped a little bit, but it was annoying only being able to cast Fairy once for all that time, and then, immediately after that point, then of doing like those 2 palaces, we got several more magic containers and
yeah.
And
well, how many did you finish with? Because I finished with 6.
I think I had 7.
Okay.
Jacob, you had actually all 8.
Oh, 8. Okay.
The 8th one was locked behind the 7 container basement, though, so it was kind of the
Okay,
same.
that's what was in Granny's basement. That figures.
Okay. Yeah, I knew when I was in Spelltown that I didn't necessarily need anything from there, but obviously the safeties were useful, so no regrets picking that stuff up.
Yeah, I'm very glad I found Trophy and was able to grab life on my way over to GP.
Yeah, though it only filled 2 bars.
It kept me alive after Thunderbird.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Well, yeah. Sounds like one of us more went the right way than the other at the end. But,
Wait, no, it was, I'm sorry, I think it was Boots in the basement. It was Boots in the basement, final magic container on the water tile. That's what it was.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
Oh. Okay.
It was final magic container in the basement in a roundabout way. Yeah, this Boots made a bit of a difference. For sure, jkoper gained quite a bit of time, at the very least, coming back into Maze Island. You had to go through several encounters without them, and with them you just sort of...
Yeah, that would have made Maze Island significantly better.
Yeah, for sure it did. Those were certainly helpful, not unwelcome one bit. So, yeah, that was one other reason to check items in Spelltown, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, I was looking for that in extra heart containers because I was only a 5 at the time.
Yeah, I got 6. I don't know what you finished with.
Yeah, I finished with 6. I ended up finding the one in P3.
Oh, I don't think I saw that.
I found one in P3 and the one on Maze Island.
Yeah, funny enough, jkoper, it was, you did hit the top of an elevator and it was the item room, and you came back down. You must have just not recognized it as the item room. You came down, went right, and that headed you to Rebo.
Yeah, that's not shocking. I don't know how you recognize them all the time. They're not that distinct. So, yeah, maybe I should look at that one in particular just to make sure I see it next time. But
yeah, there's on that note, there's potentially some sentiment in the community that maybe we should better adorn the item rooms so that people can kind of tell them right off the bat from the elevator when you walk in. So it's possible that some rooms get reworked in that regard.
Yeah, definitely looking to revise some of the 4.0 rooms, add some new rooms. Hopefully before the tournament's over, I'll have some news on that, and we can do some crazy things for 4.4.
Yeah, but other than that, any final thoughts on this one? jkoper, we'll start with you.
Nope. GG Vix. Good luck in the rest, and thanks as always to Mirai, Elendar, and VX, whoever else is helping out. Yeah, we'll see y'all later. I got some baseball to watch. So
Sounds like a good evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Vix, anything from you here?
I just want to echo those statements. GG's again, and good luck, jkoper, going forward. And thank you, Mariah and Elendar, and everybody else behind the scenes, VX and Tracker, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head at the moment, and I have everything shut down.
It is JLo tonight.
JLo, thank you all for getting this all set up and doing this. I do really appreciate all of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're going 3-0, moving into week 4. jkoper, you're falling to 2-1. We just keep repeating this, always just for Swiss and seeding purposes before we hit brackets here in another 2 weeks. That's going to be it for me. Elendar, any final thoughts from you?
Nope, GG's, and look forward to the next one.
All right, VX, I think you can take us out here.
All right. So TH versus Homemarker, which is starting in 20 minutes, will not have a restream, unfortunately, but you can still watch their Twitch streams. Coming up on this channel in 20 minutes, we have a Crosskeys, ALTTPR Crosskeys tournament semifinal. And tomorrow we got a lot of Z2R, 4 races. First one's at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll see what we can do with restreaming. Then we're not going to get to all of them, of course, but we'll see which one. But stay tuned and you'll see which ones we get. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you later.